Hello everybody, my name is MusterBuster. Welcome to my channel. This is the first ever series that I'm putting on my channel, so thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. This is Elite Dangerous. I've been playing Elite Dangerous for some time now. I've been playing it since it came out in, well, premium beta, something like that. I played it for a little while, took a little break, and now I'm back into playing it. So this series is all going to be about exploration. It's all going to be about my journey back from where I am right now, which is about 1,000 light years away from inhabited space, back to inhabited space. Once we're there, we're going to sell some of our exploration data. On the way, we're going to check out some interesting sites, and I'll do my best to explain what's going on as we go, talk about some of the game concepts, teach you some things hopefully, and yeah, we'll generally have a good time. But once we're back to inhabited space, we will be looking to get some more credits and get a bigger, better ship, because I'm currently flying this Cobra Mark III, which is rather awesome actually. It's pretty nice. It's a small ship. It manages heat really well. It's got enough modules for me to be able to do my exploration stuff. It's kind of in a bit of a dark place right now. Not in terms of emotions, in terms of light. I'm not very close to a star, so I will very soon move towards a star so you can get a better look at the ship. But right now we are orbiting this ammonia life gas giant, this gas giant with ammonia life that I've just found. We are out in the Signify system. This gas giant has ammonia based life. It is rather huge. It is this kind of green sickly color right now. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Over to the right you can kind of just about see the California Nebula there, and the Bernard Loop Nebula. That's the one, that's the circular looking one with the little dot inside it. So that's where we are right now. Everything else you hear from this point on is going to be me talking in game rather than doing post commentary. But yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're along for the ride. Please do stick around and support me in my first ever YouTube endeavour. And I really hope you enjoy this series. So for me, that's it for now, and I will see you in the next star system. Okay, so here we are. Let's check out this planet. It's a gas giant with ammonia-based life. So let's just have a quick look in the system map and see what we can find out about this ammonia life gas giant. Right. So, oh gosh. Right. Okay. Here we are. First discovered by Maddock Owain. So well done, buddy. Gas giant with ammonia-based life. This is primarily a hydrogen and helium-based atmospheric gas giant, but a little below the surface cloud layers, life exists based in the ammonia cloud layer. The chemistry of this gaseous region is far from equilibrium, with a surprising excess of oxygen and many carbon-based compounds giving it some vivid colours. Yeah, it looks like puke. As with many gaseous living systems, it is underpinned by vast quantities of free-floating radioplankton, tiny carbon-based algae, each retaining a small quantity of liquid ammonia, extracting their energy from the intense radiation flux. It is 53 times the size of Earth, but as you can see, there is an even bigger gas giant right here, and that is a gas giant with water-based life that I've already scanned down. This whole system is pretty crazy. This whole system is pretty damn crazy. I mean, you've got 3 stars. We've got a class F, which are these are the stars. Class F, Class M, I can't remember what the other one is, but Class F and M are the stars that you want to be looking out for Earth-like planets and planets with life. So this has a Class F, it has a Class M, it has this weird planet orbiting between the two masses of those 2 stars, which is interesting enough on its own. And then it has a Class K, and those are the other stars that you want to be looking out for life. So these 3 stars in the system are really great, and as you can see, you know, we've got these 2 life-holding gas giants orbiting between the masses of these stars, and we've got all these little rocky planets too. However, somebody has already discovered this system, so I'm not massively fussed about checking all of it out. I've scanned down the planets which I think are most likely to hold life, and that's this gas giant and its neighbouring gas giant too. So we need to set a course back towards inhabited space. I'm just going to book it for the star, or for one of the stars for now. set my throttle to within the blue zone so that it automatically throttles and doesn't fly me into the sun whilst I'm out in the galaxy map. Right, so here we are. We're on the Cinnify. I think that's how you say that. Cinnify constellation, I guess you'd call it, of these stars all around here. We have come here from the California Nebula, so we've kind of taken a trip. I guess you'd call it up. Up and towards this area. I am headed to Ayabico, which is my home system. That's currently... How many light years away are we talking? Ayabico. If I can manage to select it. All the way out there in Seoul. I can't seem to select it right now. But anyway, what we're going to do, look. We're going to zoom out and we're just going to move manually towards inhabited space. So yeah, as you can see, here's us, there's inhabited space. We have not come that far in the great scheme of things. Certainly not as far as it takes to get to the core, which is about, what, 22,000 light years away, something like that. But anyway, let's find Ayabico. There it is. Here is my home system. And we are going to plot a route back here, but we're going to plot an economical route rather than the fastest route. The reason for that is if we plot the fastest route, we will be more likely to take the stars that other people have flown to on our way back. And I want to find some uninhabited stars, so we'll set that into the computer and it's going to find the most economical route back home. We'll exit here, and that route is now plotted into our navigation computer. So let's get jumping. I don't need fuel. I'm all right for fuel. You can see that in the bottom right. I will show you when we jump into the next system whilst I am fuel scooping what modules I've got equipped on this Cobra Mark III. But hey, let's right now jump to the next system. Okay, so while we're in witch space, I should probably explain that it is always a good idea when you are heading to unknown systems to throttle right down before you jump into the next system. The reason for that will probably become apparent at some point, but this looks like it's a scoopable star just from the colour of it. So let's scan it down and make sure. There is a really easy way to identify whether or not a star is scoopable, and that's by looking at its star class. Now, this is a G class star and is consequently scoopable, so let's get a little bit closer to the fuel scooping. And all we're going to do is, now I know I can scoop about 80 units of fuel per second without getting too hot, provided that the star isn't too hot itself, which it shouldn't be. So if I stop here now, my heat shouldn't go above 70%. If your heat goes above 100%, you're going to start taking module damage and you're going to have a bad time. So anyway, the stars, how to check to see whether you can scoop a star for fuel is pretty easy. All you have to do is remember the acronym KGB foam. Okay? Imagine that the Russians are using some secret KGB foam to, I don't know, blow things up or something like that. I'm not accusing Russians, don't worry, it's just how I remember it in my head. But KGB foam, if the star class is a K, a G, a B, an F, an O, an A, or an M, you can scoop that star for fuel. Dead easy to remember. Right. Anyway, there's a nice solar flare going off over there. Let's try not to fly into that. We'll need our ship up. Let's get a little bit of a pretty so, zoom out a little bit. You can see the Cobra a little bit better now, and you can see that all these flaps are open collecting fuel. I think they're collecting fuel. They're either collecting fuel or they're radiating heat, one of the two. But yeah, here is my Cobra. I haven't given it a name, so if you guys want to give it a name in the comments, we'll name our Cobra Mark III. Yeah. You know what? You guys go wild. You guys go wild, and we'll see. Okay, so let's switch back here and check out this system. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fire my Discovery Scanner. It takes a little bit of a time to charge up, but once it fires, it's going to discover everything in the system, and we've just found 19 new astronomical objects. Now, they could be anything. They could be asteroids. Wow, that's so pretty. There's a lot of activity on this star, actually. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. We've just discovered 19 new astronomical objects. Now, they could be anything. They could be stars. Here they are. They could be stars. They could be asteroids. They could be planets. They could be black holes. They could be anything. So let's check out the system map and see what we have found. Wow, okay, so immediately there's a ringed gas giant there, but this system has already been discovered. This is a Class G star. They're white-yellow main sequence stars. I will look up the definition of main sequence. I'm not sure what it means. They range in mass from 0.8 to 1.2 solar masses and have a surface temperature reaching 6,000 Kelvin. This one's 5.3 million years old. That's Earth years. This gas giant looks interesting. It has rings. We don't know what those rings are composed of, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly to that and check it out, scan it down. It's got some moons which you can see down here, but they kind of look icy, they kind of look rocky. You can usually tell a few things about a planet just from looking at the system map. So look here, this one's obviously pretty icy just by looking at it, but what you can see that faint glow around the edge. That indicates that it's got an atmosphere, and you'll see that when you get close to the planet as well. That one also seems to have an atmosphere. These ones don't seem to. So they're much less likely to have life on them. But as they're icy planets anyway, they're almost definitely not going to have life on them. Anyway, we've scanned down the star. We've fueled up. What we need to do now is go check out that gas giant. So let's just open the system map again. Select the gas giant. Target it. And we now know that it's 1,678 light seconds away. So let's start accelerating towards it. Now, even though the system's already been discovered, if this gas giant holds life, it's going to be worth a pretty penny. We won't get the discovery bonus. You get a little bit of extra money for handing in undiscovered planets, but we won't get that because it's already been discovered by somebody else, but we will still get some cash, so it's worth checking out. Oh, I said I was going to show you the modules on this thing as well, didn't I? So whilst we're accelerating to that, let's just put it down into the blue zone so we don't fly into it. We've got about 2 minutes until we get there. Right, so as you can see, thrusters, shield generator, basics. I've also got an auto field maintenance unit. Really important in case you accidentally fly into a star. If you accidentally fly into a star, you're going to be forced out of Super Cruise or whatever else you're using. And you're going to heat up pretty damn quickly, and you're more than likely to go over 100% heat. When that happens, your modules will start taking damage and your hull will start taking damage too. Now, as you can see in the bottom right, just beneath the holograph of my ship, you can see that my hull's at 95%. So I've had an accident or two already, and I expect to have some more. But that's not too bad, so I'm not too worried. The thing that you can see that we've just started scanning this planet because we've just come in range, so I'm just going to slow down a little bit. But the thing that you've really got to worry about when you're out exploring is your canopy cracking. Now, mine's fine at the moment, but if you take too much damage, your canopy will start to crack, and that's worrying. That's really worrying, and those cracks will get worse and worse until you repair your ship. Now, I don't believe that you can repair the canopy with auto field maintenance unit. I think that it just repairs modules. So yeah, you're going to have a really nasty time if your canopy gets cracked. Anyway, we have found out that this is a Class 4 gas giant. It does not harbour life. There are many moons around it that you can see from here, but I want to get closer anyway just to check out its rings because they look really pretty. Really pretty. So we're within 70 light seconds now. The nav computer's saying that we're constantly 10 seconds away. That's because we are slowing down as we're getting closer. You can see our speed just to the right of the radar. That's the kind of distance, that's the kind of seconds that we want to maintain, because if we're going to go any closer than that, we'll be captured by the planet's gravity well, and we'll get pulled in towards the planet too quickly for us to slow down, and then we risk either flying past it or flying into it, and flying into some of these rings, which are, wow, really pretty. You can see the gradient of these rings. There seems to be 2 sets of rings from what I can see. Let's see, let's just slow down a little bit. absolutely massive. They seem quite faint, and they seem to get stronger as we get closer to the planet itself. It's like I'm getting a proximity warning now, so I should probably slow down a little bit. But wow, this deep purple gas giant is beautiful. Let's get closer and check out the second ring, and then we'll see what we can find out about the planet itself. What I might actually do is warning me about an impact at the moment, but don't worry about that, I'm not close enough just yet. Let's flip this craft up on its head so that we can see these rings a little bit better. Yeah, look at these, they're beautiful. Okay. Love the purple coloring. Right, let's slow right down. See if we can get right up close to these rings. If we get forced out of Super Cruise, I'm not too fussed. Okay, alright. So that's pretty damn gorgeous. Let's get out of the cockpit and see what we can see. See, this is one of the reasons why I love this game. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I would love to go to space. I would love to go to space so damn much. But hey, here we are. Let's get out of the debug camera and see if we can find out some more information about this gas giant. So, this is a Class 4 gas giant. Now, it's primarily hydrogen and has a helium atmosphere with carbon monoxide and upper clouds of alkali metals above lower cloud layers of silicates and iron compounds, so silicon and iron. Hence the brighter colours. It doesn't look very bright to me though. The temperature of their upper cloud layers is typically above 900 Kelvin, so, you know, a little bit bigger than this thing could be a star. Now, radius-wise, 66,000 kilometers, pretty big. 74% hydrogen and 25% helium. So yeah, pretty interesting. Has pristine reserves, of course, because nobody's mining it down here. Its rings are metal rich. Both of them are metal rich. They extend out to 500,000 kilometers beyond the planet itself. So, you know, as we suspected, they're pretty. Aside from being pretty, they're pretty big. That's me going too fast. And as we get closer to these rings, you can start to see the granular effect. You can start to see that they're made up of tiny bits of metal and other stuff, I guess. But you can start to see that they really are made up of tiny little objects. And we're going to get in there. We're going to get right in there. We're going to drop out of Super Cruise. And as the game loads, we'll start to see, we can start to move through these asteroids. Now these bad boys are all bits of metal. So you can imagine how valuable this data will be, or might be, to miners, or people who want to survey and purvey for metals, for mining, and for industry, and for construction, and things like that. But at the end of the day, we are about 800 light years away from inhabited space, so there are closer, better sources of metal to inhabitants of Sol than this place right now. But it is just gorgeous, and this extends out over 500,000 kilometers beyond this planet. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it blows your mind. You know, this is typical. This is typical. This is typical stuff out there in our galaxy. Absolutely mental. Right, let's get out of here and move on to the next system, because there wasn't really anything else that interesting to see.
Flight assist off. Flight assist on.
To activate our frameship drive. Our friendship drive! Right, 10 light years away from the next system, so let's point in the right direction.
Frameshift drive charging.
Activate frameshift drive even. Let's still see the California Nebula over there. I believe that one to the right, just above the rings, is the Witchhead Nebula. It's deceptively far away. It's not as close as
3, 2, 1.
Right.
Engage.
Throttle down. Never forget. The last thing you want to do is fly straight into the star that you're navigating to. Now, if you want to throttle down immediately, you can just press X on your keyboard, or if you're using a controller, you can just hold whilst you're in Super Cruise, and you'll automatically throttle to 0 as you land. Now, this star looks scoopable, but it could be a T-Tauri. Let's see what. 36 astronomical objects in this system, so it's going to be worth checking out. Now, let's see what this star is. It's an M-class star, which is really, really good news for me. One, because it's scoopable. I don't need fuel on this jump, so I'm okay. But two, because it means we're likely to find some interesting stuff in this system. Now, let's open the system map and see what we see. Wow, okay, plenty of stuff. We've got a Class M star, first discovered by Archangel Payne, who was the same guy who discovered the stuff in the last system, so it sounds like he might be on the same route as me. We've got a Class T star, which is a brown dwarf with a surface temperature of between 700 and 1300 Kelvin. Sometimes known as methane dwarves. They are due to the prominence of the methane in their composition. They're kind of borderline between what a planet might be considered, what a very large gas giant might be and a star might be. So, you know, this is almost a gas giant rather than a star. And then down here we've got a Class L dwarf. They're essentially these guys, the Class M system, but a little bit cooler. They are on the borderline of supporting fusion of hydrogen in their cores. Their temperatures have ranged from 1300 Kelvin to 2400, and they're cool enough to have metals, alkaline metals and metal hydrides in their atmospheres too. Don't worry if this means nothing to you, it kind of means nothing to me either. Nothing about this system is screaming out at me right now. There may be a few metal-rich planets here. Maybe. They've all been... oh no, they've not all been discovered, but all the interesting ones, these ones with the dark coloration, have been discovered. Now, to my eye, they could either be rocky planets, or they could be metal-rich planets. You're looking for deeply coloured, or even brightly coloured planets for metal-rich systems, and metal-rich systems are kind of profitable, so we do want to check those out. But in this case, seeing as there's not really anything undiscovered, Archangel's got there before us, we're going to move on straight onto the next system and maximise our profit. I'm not even going to check out those other stars because they're not that interesting. Brown dwarfs, meh, not worth that much money, so let's move.
Frameshift drive charging.
Friendship drive charging. Can we do debug camera whilst we're doing friendship drive? Yes, we can. Let's do that. Let's see what happens. 4. No. Oh wow, okay. Okay, so it puts us back in there. Once we go into which space, which is understandable. Which space is the space that we're in now? I don't really understand the concept. I think it came from the original Elite game. Right, here we are in Cinefy YQPC86, which is an interesting name. This star also looks scoopable. Let's see what's in the system. 9 new astronomical objects. Whilst we scan the star, we can check those out. It's undiscovered. That's good news for me because I get a bonus. And look at this. Right, not that one. Not that one. Don't look at that one. That one looks boring. This, however, looks very interesting. It's almost definitely a metal-like planet, a metal-rich planet, so I definitely want to check this one out. But because this whole system is unexplored, I'm also going to check this one out too. Now, as you can see, there's a couple of planets that look like they've got atmospheres, but they kind of look icy, rocky and boring. So I'm just going to check these two out because they look like the most interesting. This one in particular, because it looks like it's packed full of metal. Let's check this one out first because it's closest. Okay, we're got to travel 393 light seconds to get there. It's behind the sun, so let's just navigate around the sun.
Fuel scooping.
When fuel scoops, it automatically engages because it's a scoopable star. We are just past the star.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Start to accelerate towards this first planet. Okay, so we've hit that, almost hit that golden 10-second mark. There we go. So we're going to slow down now and try and maintain 10 seconds so that we don't crash into this planet. And now our scanner's activated because we're within range. Now the range at which your scanner activates depends on both the radius of the planet and how good a scanner you've got equipped. Oh, and your distance to it as well. That comes to that. So if you're trying to scan a massive gas giant, then you're going to be able to scan from much farther away. Tiny, high metal content planet like this one. So let's get a little bit closer and check it out. It did look a little bit boring on the system map, but let's get in there and see what we can see. Again, we're trying to keep it between 7 and 10 seconds is what we want in order to make sure we don't crash into the planet. So it's like this dark blue hue. We'll check out what this planet is made of in just a second. Let's get a little bit closer. High metal content planet. I love that deep blue. It's almost like a blue-grey. Right, let's check out the system map. See what we can find out about it. Okay, high metal content world with a metallic with a metallic core. Worlds like this could have metallic ores near the surface in places, especially around areas of past volcanism. So it has an atmosphere. It has a carbon dioxide atmosphere, which means that if I try to land on this and try to breathe, I will die pretty damn quickly. It may have had volcanism in the past, so it may have had volcanoes. It doesn't have any volcanism now. It seems like a pretty dead planet. What else do we know? 68% carbon dioxide, 30% nitrogen, 0.7% sulfur dioxide. Despite it being, it's a metal-rich planet. It's a high metal content planet even. So it's not entirely made of metal. It's 33%, about a third metal. Okay, so and it's about 20% the size of Earth too. So in the great scheme of things, it's not that interesting. We're going to move on to this second planet, which I think will be much more interesting. Just looking at the colour of it, and just looking at that nice thick atmospheric band that we see there. Why can't I target this? That is absolutely... Oh, it's because I'm already targeting it. Haha! Right, space madness gets to you a little bit after a while. I don't think this will be an Earth-like, purely because it's orange. I don't think I've ever seen an orange Earth-like planet. The hologram there, just to the left of my radar, can be quite deceiving sometimes. Anyway, we've got 860 light seconds to go. Now, one other thing to mention is because I'm quite close to the planet that I've just explored, gravity is having a big impact on my thrusters capacity right now, which means it's taking me a long time to accelerate back up. If you want to maintain the best acceleration and if you want to explore in the fastest way possible, the best thing to do is to get just within your scanner's range of the planet. So as soon as you notice that your scanner is starting to scan the planet, that's when you want to slow down and just let the scanner do its work before you move on to the next planet. What that will mean is that you're as far away from the planet's gravity well as you possibly can be, while still being able to scan that planet. What that in turn means is that you can get up to speed after you've scanned that planet straight away with no fuss, and you won't have to do this whole trying to work against the planet's gravity in order to get back up to speed. However, this is a YouTube series and this is a YouTube show, so I want to show you the interesting things that we see along the way, rather than just these little specks of light that we see when we're that far away from the planet. Okay, so we're starting to accelerate now. We've hit that 10-second mark, so let's slow down. We can see that this one seems to have a moon. It's got something orbiting it anyway. We're going way too fast, so I'm just slowing right down. Just started to scan the planet, but again, I'm going to get really close because I think this one's going to be quite interesting. It's got a moon, so we'll scan that whilst we're here. We might as well. First. And also because moons are quite small, you need to typically be within 10 light seconds of them. Now, it's a high metal content planet again, so not quite as interesting as I was hoping, but let's get in close and have a look at its orangeness. See if it really is orange or whether that was an effect, a trick of the light. It's looking quite orange. Here we go. Okay, yep, definitely orange. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. It looks almost Mars-like. Just those white things. I assume that's ice. I could be wrong. It could be clouds. I think it's got an atmosphere. We'll check that out in a second. But let's just get a little bit closer, please. And I guess if we get close enough, we'll be able to tell if they're clouds or not. What they're clouds of is an entirely different planet. Yeah, they definitely look like clouds. So it's an orange/brown planet. It looks a lot like Mars. And yeah, those are definitely clouds of something. We're within 16 million meters or something right now. So let's just slow this down. Open the system map and see what we can find out about this nice orange planet. That one. Okay, so it's got a nitrogen atmosphere. It's 100% nitrogen in its atmosphere as well, so there is only nitrogen in the atmosphere. Again, if you tried to land on that, you would choke. You would choke if you took your helmet off. It's just over a third the size of Earth. Its surface temperature is 144 Kelvin. It's got 2.65 atmospheres, which means that its atmosphere is 2.65 times, I was trying to think of the word there, times as thick as Earth's, with 6.8% rock and 33% metal. So again, it's kind of similar to the one that we just saw there, just a different colour. Yeah, not as interesting as we hoped actually. Let's scan its moon whilst we're here, just because. Let's just select it. You can see which are the bodies that are orbiting different planets. So you can see right now, there's the star here. This is the planet that we're looking at. This is its moon. So you can see that it's kind of tabbed in. So let's lock onto that and start to scan down the moon. I'm not expecting anything interesting here. I'm expecting either a rocky or an icy thing. I wouldn't even call it a planet. It looks tiny. Let's see what we see. Alright, so yeah, a rocky planet, just as I thought. Let's open the system map just for cracks and see what we find. So, tiny, 0.004 of Earth's mass. Wow. Tiny little bit of atmosphere actually. It's got a carbon dioxide atmosphere, which is interesting. It's 99% carbon dioxide and 1% sulfur dioxide. So again, you would choke a horrible death if you took your helmet off while stood on that planet. Not that it would have much gravity to keep you on there either. 86% rock, so really not that interesting. Tidally locked to its body too. Right, boring in general. Let's move on to our next system. What was encouraging about this system, however, is that nobody found it, so hopefully... There goes our battle-rich man. Hopefully, the next one will be the same.
Frameshift drive charging.
Friendship drive charging. It's not friendship, it's frameshift. But we kind of just said friendship. Alright, here we go. Boom.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
I always wonder what these gases and things that are flying past are. They look like nebula, but they can't possibly be nebula. Anyway, here we go. Let's scan down this star. We're all right for fuel, so we're not too bothered whether or not it's a scoopable. Fire the D-scanner. Discovery scanner. Now 14 new astronomical objects. Please tell me that one of them seems to be a star. Yep, so we've got... Ooh, very interesting. So we've got 2 stars here. Ah, it's already been discovered. Archangel Pain. Damn you, man. Damn you. Okay, so yeah, we've got a 10 million year old star here. It's a Class K star, which is good. as I explained earlier, and another K star. Got a binary star system here, which is interesting. This one is quite far away though. This hasn't been explored. Archangel Payne didn't bother. Did he bother exploring these planets though? That's what I want to know. Yes, he did. Damn you, Archangel Payne. Right, so I'm excited. I'm very excited, and the reason I'm excited is because this looks like a water world with an atmosphere. That's just from looking at it, that's just from experience. You can tell because it's blue, and you can tell that it's got an atmosphere because of this little shine. It looks to have quite a thick atmosphere too. This one also looks interesting. It looks like another water world with maybe some ice caps. That, I don't know. It could be interesting. It looks like a metal-rich planet to me though. Icy, probably metal-rich with an atmosphere. Maybe an ammonia world. So let's check that one out first. May well be an ammonia world. The reason why I suspect that is purely because it's yellow. It looks like it looks like pee. Pee contains a lot of but no, it looks like pee. So we're gonna check it out. That's typically how it's called ammonia world. There is another way. There is another way of identifying what planets are just from looking at, or rather listening to, the system map. I'll see if I can show you in a little bit, but in fact, you know what? Let's slow right down and see if we can do it here. What you're going to need to do here, guys, is you're going to need to turn your sound system right up. You're going to need all of your sound. And I'm just going to do the same. So apologies if you hear the sound reverbing in my microphone here. But what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to click on the body in the system map. In fact, you know what? Let's click on a different body in the system map. And then we're going to zoom right in, okay? I'm going to wait a few seconds. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select this planet here and we're going to listen. Okay, now, you may have heard like that screeching sound there, yeah? It sounds like a guitar just going wow. It sounds almost metallic. So I suspect that this planet's going to be a metal system, something to do with metal. I don't think it's going to be ammonia. The reason I say that is because ammonia, when you listen to it like that in the galaxy map, in the system map, it silences the background music. It's almost silent when you listen to it. Now, some people accuse, some people can't say that's cheating. I don't think it is. I think it's interesting. There you go, look, high metal content planet, boom, just like that. So I could have saved myself a trip. But you know, the high metal content planet, pretty interesting to say. Now, we can play the same trick with the rest of these planets, but you know, those white looking ones I'm not too interested in. Not too interested in at all. But this water world, what we'll find if we click this and zoom in is that we'll start to hear water. We will start to hear watery sounds. Let's zoom right in. Can you hear it? A little bit of bubbling in the background. And the gusts of wind you can hear. Yeah, it's getting stronger now. That bubbling is getting stronger now. The gusts of wind you can hear indicate that it's got an atmosphere. The bubbling is water. So let's go and find out if we're right. That's not the one that we're looking for. The one we're looking for is this way. And it is 550 light years away, so not too far. The star just looks beautiful as we go past it. One of the reasons why I really want to get a bigger, better ship is firstly so that we can do more of this stuff, but secondly so that I've got a bigger canopy so I can do more beauty shots. That's going to be really cool. Right, I'm a little bit gutted that Archangel's discovered this water world already, but never mind. We fly past on the other planet. It just happens to be on the same direction. I think that was one of the boring ice worlds. So I'm not too interested in stopping to have a look at that, even though we are rather close to it. I want get a crack right on past it. Let's accelerate a little bit so we can pull out of that other planet's gravity well. Now the other thing that affects his speed as well is obviously the star. So what you've got to remember is the star is massive compared to all of these planets and bodies and things like that. It has a pretty severe gravity look. It takes a long time. And what you'll find is if you're going from one side of the system to the other, past the star, you will slow down in the middle. One of the better things, there you go, Waterworld, boom, let's go in for a closer look. But carrying on, one of the best ways to get around a system without slowing down is to follow the orbit lines. That will make sure that you have the star's gravity impacts your speed the least. Now, it's debatable. I mean, sometimes it's worth doing, sometimes it's not. Depends on the distance you're travelling. Right, this very blue water world. I'm about 2 light seconds away from it now. Gosh. So it's very much a water world. It doesn't seem to have any ice caps. Get a little bit closer to see what we can see. This whole thing is just water. Can you imagine that? No land, just water. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like a little blue pearl. Let's get right up over it. Slow right down. Into the debug camera. I've assigned my debug camera button to a specific button, so mine's set to 0 on the numpad, but you can assign yours to whatever you want. Really, you just have to find it in the controls. I think it's in the MISC options. But wow, as our ship flies over this planet, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I would love to go to space. Somebody take me to space. I want to see this stuff. Anyway, let's snap out of that and let's have a look at some details in the system. Okay. That's interesting. Anyway, right. Wow. This is interesting. So, it's about 1.5 times the size of Earth. It has a surface temperature of 250 Kelvin. It's a terrestrial water world with an active water-based chemistry and carbon water-based life. Okay. That's interesting. Right, so it has an atmosphere that's 500 times as thick as that as Earth. You would practically be able to swim in the atmosphere, let alone the rest of the water on that planet. It's even got volcanism. It's got carbon dioxide geysers, which are, you know, these big jets that would stream up into the atmosphere from the surface. Argon-rich atmosphere, 95% nitrogen, so again you wouldn't be able to breathe on this. It's 68% ice actually that is made up on, so maybe the water's just surface water. It does have carbon water-based life, but that's not indicated on our system scanner here, so it's kind of interesting. Anyway, let's use our listening trick once again to check out whether the rest of these are going to be worth discovering. So let's just listen closely. That's another water world, you can tell straight away. Hear the bubbling? Yep. And then let's just switch over to this one and see what this one's about. I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure, so I'm going to check that one out as well. But first, let's fly over to this other world and see what it's about. It's directly behind us, so we're probably going to have to fly past the star, so you see what I mean about slowing down. And we're going to actually fly quite close to the star, so it's probably going to slow us down a lot. So what we're going to do, we're going to scan this, we're going to ignore that outer planet. There was actually an entire other star, wasn't there, in the system. Let's just check to see if that was worth checking out. Metal rich probably there. It is unexplored, but it's probably not worth checking. Now, these two stars, they look quite close in the system map. I guarantee they're not. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, 106 light seconds. It's probably about a 4 or 5 minute journey. So I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass on this occasion because it doesn't look like it's got anything too interesting. We're really struggling to get out of this water world's gravity world. We're starting to speed it now. So yeah, let's check out this. Water world, and then let's move on to the next system. Right, so we've escaped water world's gravity well. We're flying towards the sun, and our navigation community is definitely trying to slow us down so that we don't, tear ourselves apart from the sun's gravity. But again, it's the sun's gravity capturing us, pulling us towards the sun. I should really be saying star. Sun refers to a very specific sun. That's our sun. That's the one you see when you look up into the sky from Earth. I guess you can also call it Sol. That's what it's referred to in this game too. No, the sun refers to a very specific star. Whereas we should be calling these stars. We're getting way too close, way too fast. If this happens, what you want to do is you want to point away from the planet to see it go out of view, and then you want to throttle up and you want to almost try and orbit it. So you use this planet's gravity to slow your ship down without flying straight past it, wasting a load of time. Once you've slowed down, you can throttle back up to the blue zone so that you're not traveling at zero. Now, here we are. We landed quite close there. This is definitely water. Look at it. It's got some ice too, by the look of it. Don't think that's land. Not sure about an atmosphere. It must have an atmosphere. It must have an atmosphere. I don't believe that you can have a water world without an atmosphere, because I think the water will just simply evaporate off the planet. Right, let's have a look at the system map, see what we know about this water world. So, 5.56 atmosphere, 5.66 atmosphere. It's got an ammonia-based atmosphere, which is really interesting. Again, carbon, water-based life, ammonia. I'm surprised this is an ammonia world, but yeah, I guess it's because of all that water. Yeah, nothing that interesting about this. It's a little bit smaller than Earth, no volcanism. A little bit boring, to be honest, but a water world all the same. 66% rock, 33% metal with all that surface water. Obviously, there's clearly some ice on there too. Right. Let's move on to the next system. We'll scan that system. Ooh, we've got a weak signal source. Wait. This rarely happens. We are light years away from human space. I don't know what this is going to be. Do I have weapons? That would be a good question. No. Okay, I'm going to be prepared. This ship's pretty damn quick, so if anything does happen, we can get out of there really quickly. But I'm just curious. I want to know what this signal source could be. So let's zoom in within 1 million meters. Very rare. In fact, I've never seen a signal source this far out. So, rare artwork. Okay. What the hell? Why would there be rare artwork all the way out here? I don't think I have a cargo hold. No, I don't. Damn. There's a lesson learned. A little bit of cargo, just in case you find some rare artwork about 800 light years away from inhabited space. I don't know what this is doing out here. Wow. Let's just get a little bit closer, just in case there's anything weird going on. What? It's illegal salvage, so if I did pick it up, I'd have to smuggle it into a system, into a station back in inhabited space. What the hell? Okay, alright. Let's give it a little nudge. We'll move on. That is absolutely bizarre. Let's move on to the next system. We're 111 jumps away from inhabited space, so what we're going to do is we're probably going to... Right, we're probably going to explore a couple more systems, and then we're going to set to the fastest
Frameshift
routes
drive
back home.
charging.
And we're going to really put some pace into this journey, because otherwise it will take us ages. And this is another reason why I need to upgrade my Cobra quite desperately, because it's only got a jump distance of 15 meters, which you know, look at what 800 light years divided by 15. It's a lot of jumps. It's a lot of jumps. Whereas the maximum in-game light distance jump, whatever, your jump distance is 30 light years. So, you know, it's half of what we could be going. We could be halving our journey times if we had a bigger, better ship. Right, new system. Let's scan down this star, see what's what. 14 new astronomical objects, and we have a K star, which again is awesome. Right, system map. Oh wow, okay. Ooh, lots of gas giants. Already discovered by Thermo, that's unfortunate. Do for do, discovered that one. Do for do, discovered that one, and that one. Go on, let's... Yeah. We're gonna have to scan all these. That one in particular looks pretty interesting. It looks like it's got some pretty huge rings. So, now you can see all these little asteroids. They're kind of very close to the star, orbiting the star. They're the ones that are kind of within this, within this 7 light year range. They are boring. They're not worth anything to anybody right now. The only real use for asteroids is for mining. Nobody's going to travel this far out to do something. Now, because this planet is so massive, because it's huge, because it's a gas giant, we can scan it from 770 light seconds away, so I don't have to burn all the way out there to check it out. It doesn't have any rings, it's not going to be that pretty, so I'm not going to fly all the way out. Let's check it out. I'm just going to use this time to get a little bit of distance between me and the star. We'll see what we can see about this this big gas giant. Okay, class 2 jet gas giant. Not all that interesting. Let's see. Have a look at this one. It's actually orbiting the other one. So this one's going to be a little bit smaller. We know that because it's orbiting the other star, the other gas giant, sorry, that we just scanned. So we're going to have to get a little bit closer. Let's scan it now. Accelerating quite quickly now because we've escaped the star's gravity well. Or at least the most severe part of its gravity well. We're actually having to get quite close to this one. It can't be that big. Wow, we're having to get really close to this one. It really can't be that big. Starting to suspect this isn't the planet I was looking for. In fact, it's not. It's made of rock. You can tell. It's got craters. This wasn't one of the gas giants. Damn. Oh, interesting. That one over there seems to have a ring. I might go check it out. Yeah, it's just an icy planet. What a massive waste of time. Let's just fly over here and see if we can check this gas giant out, because deceptively seems to have rings which didn't appear on the system, or rather on our scanner. Beautiful, gorgeous. As we fly past this, and we are just going to fly past this one. As we fly past this, let's put debug camera on. Wow. Move out the way, ship. You're obscuring the prettiness. Ooh, look at that pink band. And then the brown ones as you get closer. Pretty. Yeah, look at it. Oh, wow. The shadow of the planet just completely obscuring those rings. Can you imagine approaching from that side and not seeing those rings and then, oh! Well, I guess you would see the rings, but anyway. That's how it looks like in my head. Right, let's just have a quick look at that because I'm going to find out what those rings are made of. Yeah, there we go. Big, big planet. Okay, Class 2 gas giants have primarily hydrogen and helium atmosphere. Water vapor in the upper cloud layers gives them a much higher albedo. I don't know what albedo means there. Their surface temperature is typically around 250k. 74% hydrogen, 25% helium. That's interesting. Pristine reserves, obviously rocky and icy rings, so really not all that interesting. I was pretty sure that this... It's an icy planet with rings. Okay. It's a little bit more interesting than we thought, that planet, because I thought... this is a really weird setup. Those two are kind of orbiting each other. Anyway, this is a little bit more interesting than I thought, because it does have rings and it does have an ammonia-rich atmosphere. So, you know, that's not too bad, and it does also have a ring apparently. There you go. Icy ring though, so kind of boring. Right, so let's fly out to this other giant gas. I can't even talk anymore, guys. The gas giant. Space madness is real. It's kind of one of the reasons why I started this YouTube series, so I don't go absolutely insane. This gas giant is miles and miles and miles away. Miles isn't even the correct measurement of distance. So yeah, that one's probably going to be further. It looks more like a planet than a gas giant, so I'm probably not going to bother with that one. But let's go out to this one first discovered by EP2 and see what we can see. Whilst, because we've got some time, let's listen to it as well in the system and see if we can identify what it will be. I don't know. It may or may not have some ammonia in it, which may or may not mean that it has some ammonia-based life. Again, ammonia, it's kind of silent, but what you've got to bear in mind is that other parts, other kind of attributes of that planet will make noise as well. So if it's got an atmosphere, you'll hear kind of gusts of wind, that sort of stuff. So there is a guide on how to listen to all of these planets whilst you're out exploring. So I'll try to do my best to pop that in the description when I upload this video. But for now, yeah, we're just gonna presume this one has a little bit of ammonia. Getting close now. There we go, started to scan it. Let's see if it was right. All those other little lines are all of this gas giant's moons orbiting it. They're more than likely going to be totally uninteresting. Class 1 gas giant. No ammonia-based life, which is a bit of a shame. A little bit of a shame. Let's get in and have a close look at it. But let's see if it did have some ammonia in there. No ammonia. Completely miss. Oh no, upper atmosphere of ammonia. Yeah, so you know, Class 1 giant or a Jovian gas giant have primarily hydrogen and helium atmosphere. Coloration comes from the clouds in the upper atmosphere of ammonia, water vapor, hydrogen sulfide, phosphine and sulfur. The temperature at the top of their upper cloud layers is typically less than 150k, which is pretty cold. It is 70 times the size of Earth. You could fit 70 Earths in there. Aside from that, it's got an atmosphere, but not really all that interesting at all. Let's see if we're within range of some of these moons. is it? Not really. Okay, boring. What we're going to do, we're going to scan this down, we're going to move to the next star, we're not going to bother skipping it for free because we don't need it. We're going to park ourselves in orbit around that star, and then we're going to call it a day for my first episode of YouTube. So thank you for joining me, guys. It really does mean the world to me. And if you can hit that subscribe button, I think I have like 3 subscribers right now, so it's really not that many, but it would really mean the world to me. If you are a fan of Elite Dangerous or you are a fan of space games, I'm going to be playing other space games too. But if you are, if you enjoyed this, if you learned anything, please do subscribe. And please share it with your mates as well. Get me some additional viewers. I will love you all for that. I'm going to be really good, and I'm going to talk to you all in the comments. So yeah, please do leave a comment, do leave a like, do hit subscribe, all that usual YouTube stuff that everybody tells you to do at the end of that video.
Frameshift drive charging.
Well, so please do those things. It will make me so happy. Right, so let's jump to this star. Let's put ourselves in a parking orbit, and then let's retreat back into our crew quarters at the back of this Cobra model and get some rest.
2, 1, engage.
See what always interested me about these games. How do you tell in space what night and day is? Because humans revolve around this whole thing of night and day. We kind of operate. We sleep when it's dark, and we're awake when it's light, unless you're kind of like me in a bit of a 6 new astronomical objects in the system. Let's just check it out and see what we've got to explore next time. Oh wow. That is interesting. No, sorry guys, we're not ending the episode here. We need to check these out. Firstly, because it's unexplored, and I don't want somebody to pick me. But secondly, that could be an Earth-like. That could be an Earth-like. It could also be an ammonia world. Let's go through in order though. Class K star, so yes, it's got a good chance of being an Earth-like. Let's check that out. If we can find an Earth-like before this episode ends, I will be so happy. But first, let's check out these other closer planets. Now, yeah, so how would you regulate kind of your sleeping habits in space? Because you're flying towards these stars, and then you're going out to the black, and then you're flying towards stars, and we've as bright stars all in space for now. So I guess you just have to have a clock system. But you guys can tell me in the comments, how do you think that you would regulate your sleeping habits in space when there is no kind of a light or anything like that, no natural light cycle to regulate it for you? What would you do to keep yourself sane and keep yourself in regular sleeping? Right, scanning this planet. I suspect metal rich. I don't suspect it will be interesting to see here. But we are the first to discover the system, so we will get a bonus on anything we find. High metal content planet, just as we thought. Right, next one. This one could be an ammonia world, or it could be a metal-rich world, I'm not sure. Let's get back up to speed from this motion around so we can see that planet goes past us, telling us to slow down because we're getting captured by the gravity. It's worried, the ship's computer is worried that we're going to fly straight into that planet. No, we're going to fly past it. We're going to reach this other one that's 120 light seconds away. Again, ammonia world maybe, or metal rich. Suspecting it's more likely to be the latter. It's more likely to be metal rich. Slow down as we start to scan. Not interesting getting close to this one, because it's visually pretty boring. Plus, if we stay quite far away, let's get the speed for our trip to the Earth like much faster. Yeah, just a metal-rich planet. Right, now for the interesting one. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. If we can discover an Earth-like planet in my first ever episode. I will be so happy. Yeah, kind of... and you know, even if we do discover this to be an Earth-like planet, it's a long way. But even if we do discover this to be an Earth-like planet, there are lots and lots and lots of things left for us to discover in the world, like neutron stars or black holes or trinary systems or yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff that can go on. Trinary systems are dangerous, very, very dangerous. Basically, if you jump into a system with 2 or more stars and those stars are very close to each other, there is a risk that what you'll actually do is jump right in between those stars and then have no escape. And your ship will heat up extremely quickly and you will go boom very, very quickly. So that's something to watch out for, and another reason why you should always throttle down whilst you're jumping to a new system, just in case something like that happens. Have the maximum chance then of not being thrown straight into a star and ending your exploration trip early. Right, here we go again. Let's slow right down. No, we're not going to slow down fast enough. We're straight into this. So again, point away from the planet, and then as it flies over you, you want to kind of get yourself into an orbit of it so that the planet's gravity slows you down. Keep an eye on that orbit line. The sun right's disappearing now, but if you keep an eye on that, wow, this is pretty. No, I'm still going too quick. We need to orbit it. Wow, this was really pretty. Let's try doing some more orbiting until we slow right down just enough. Oh man, it's beautiful. Looking at it, it's got polar ice caps. Wow. It's got polar ice caps, that's for sure. Looks like it has bodies of water, maybe not tectonic plates. Ah, no! Oh, I had high hopes for this one. It's just a metal-rich planet. That's a shame. Damn! Our quest for an Earth-like will continue in the next episode, but yeah, let's just check out some details of this one. Right. Oh, silicate vapor geysers this has. So it's also got a methane-rich atmosphere. No life though. 29% ammonia, 29% methane, 29% nitrogen, some percent of other stuff that nobody cares about. Right. Composition: rock and metal. Ah, got it. It's almost the same size of as Earth as well. It's 1.3 times the size of Earth, so a little bit bigger. The rest of the system. Wow, we are close. Wow, we are really close. We are too close. We look like we drop out of supernovas. Yeah, should go above the beautiful surface of this planet. I mean, look at it, it's gorgeous. So, guys and girls, thank you once again for joining me. Please, please, please do hit that subscribe button. It will mean the world to me if you do. Get to know me, talk to me in the comments, tell me more about how you would regulate your sleeping pattern in the comments as well. And yeah, we have a long way to go yet, so please do join me for the rest of this series. Meanwhile, I'm going to shut off all my systems. I'm going to go back into the crew compartment of this Cobra 3, orbit this disappointingly metal-like world, and I will see you in the next star system. Goodbye, guys!